Alright, so this is for Scott and Akiko, and I guess anyone else who sees this who is trying to learn how to use BeatMaker 2. So you just open it up. New project. You can start with any of these, but I usually start with drums just to get something going. There's all these kind of drum kits you can pick from, but just to get one started, I'll say hip hop, and then whatever the first one is, it says battle hop, and load. And then here you click on the drum machine, and yeah, you can just hit all these noises. I stay away from the loop, the ones that say loop. You can use those if you want, but I just mess with the individual sounds. And right here, you can move real easily between like drum kits. Like this one says old school hip hop. This one says dry, whatever that means. Jazz and trip hop, I guess. This right here enables you to load samples that you've recorded off like vinyl or whatever, but I'll show you that some other time. So, mess with this, get a beat going or whatever. But kind of the first thing you'll need to do is decide what the tempo you want for your beat is. So I guess the default is 90, so I'll leave it there for now, but you can change the tempo. You can change the signature too, it looks like, but I don't know too much about that, so I just leave it alone. I should mention that you're free to change the tempo again at any time, so don't feel like you're locked in after you put a certain number on there. So I always use the metronome here when first starting to make a beat. Obviously, it'll take that out later so it doesn't get in the way, but just to get started, I always click on that symbol so the metronome's going. And when you hit play and you haven't recorded anything yet, you just get the metronome. So you can kind of plan out your beat in terms of the tempo you've selected. So once you've kind of messed with that and you want to actually start recording something, then what's going to happen is you're going to hit this record button, and then it's going to give you kind of a lead-in time of 1 bar or 4 counts. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll actually start your recording. So for example, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just start with that. So I've recorded that, and then see this home button, you hit that, and we're back where we were at the beginning, but this time we'll hit this logo, which takes us to the sequencer. And here we can see the sounds that I've actually recorded. So what I usually do is record just some little bit, like in that case I did 2 bars, and then I'll loop it, like just to have something at the very beginning to get started. So what you do is you select this little line up here, and you see in the beginning it just had 1 bar, but I dragged it out to 2. So what's going to happen now, and then also now I'll hit this symbol, which is to cause it to loop infinitely. And then when I hit play, it'll just keep replaying that little 2 bar section that I recorded. So now that we got the beginning of some drums going, we can hit this home button again, hit the green logo here for add instrument, and this time let's hit the keyboard. And you can choose like these basic kind of broad ranges of instruments, and say keyboard, and honky tonk, whatever that means. It must be some kind of piano. So then I hit load, and again I'll hit the keyboard, and then you got this. So this glissando thing, I guess, means you can kind of drag your finger. And if you hit this to switch, it goes from glissando to scroll, which then, instead of like dragging your finger across different keys, it'll move you along. I guess those are octaves. And then you can like zoom out if you want to show hella keys, or zoom in to focus in. And yeah, now you can play your thing, play the drums we recorded. Actually, now that we have drums, we don't need that metronome anymore, I don't think. So I'll just hit that. And even in the middle of playing, you can get rid of it. And then, you know, think of whatever beat you want to do. That's that heat right there, right? And then even just in the middle of it, you can decide, all right, I want to start recording. You know, just whatever that was. And then, you know, we only did a 2-bar loop, so now it's playing what I recorded. But I'll stop that. And again, we'll navigate to the sequencer. So hit the home button, little sequencer logo. And now we see we got that piano bit on top of the drums. And since we have this highlighted, it's still going to loop. And yeah. So I fucked up pretty bad on that second part. So let me click on that. You can do something called quantizing. So you highlight, like I just did, all the pieces you want to select. You hit this little music note symbol, and you can kind of decide how precise or what little increments of time you want it to move it to. Like, I don't know, I guess those are eighths. You can add a little variance, swing. So my iPhone that I'm recording on ran out of batteries, and then the iPad, you know, it like locks up after a certain amount of time. So I lost that beat we had just started, but that's a good time to remind you. Often you'll want to go here, hit current project, and hit save. So just save your work every now and then in case, you know, you get interrupted, so you don't lose all your shit. But the next thing I was going to show you was, if you go to this screen and you hit on this little knob symbol, that brings you to the main mixer board. So this is a beat I made before, but you can you can mute certain things, solo them. Obviously you can adjust the volume for each element that you've added. And yeah, I think that's pretty good for now. Get you guys started. But yeah, if you get going using the app and you got questions, holler, and I'll bring you further along. Peace.